see you this morning.
Thanks so much for having me on.
I was going to ask you the obvious question, which is, have we just all lost our minds?
You know, this is what we like to call silly season at College Republicans. It's when students return to school and we start seeing all of these crazy syllabi and classroom rules and the course titles and what professors say and what administrators do. I mean, it's just absolutely insane on a college campus these days.
Speaking of syllabi, which, by the way, is one of the great pluralizations of any word, here is the syllabus from the school. I'm going to read this to you. The school statement says this: the professor's syllabus sought to identify examples of potentially disruptive behavior the professor believed could hinder the classroom learning environment. The intent was not to limit the religious freedoms of the classroom. So how could saying God bless you be disruptive?
You know, this is one of these things, no pun intended, where it just doesn't pass the smell test. I mean, I think it defies our common experience that saying God bless you would be so disruptive to a classroom. In 22 years of schooling, I can't remember one time where it was just so pervasive that it disrupted an entire classroom. I think it's one of these examples where you just see that bias doesn't always come in an obvious form. I mean, sometimes it comes in the form of a snide comment in a syllabus like this, or an administrator, for example, which just happened in many cases on college campuses, where they shut down 9/11 memorial events because, you know, students didn't book the correct space or there was some sort of technical issue. And I think that this is also just a form of bias you start to see on campus these days.
Right. Aren't college campuses supposed to be a place where we can share diverse opinions? We recently reported here on the show removing the word American from college campuses because it might become offensive for some people.
Yeah, I mean, we've come to a place now where we need speech codes like that school in New Hampshire that you're referencing, where we need to remove the word American to make school a hospitable place for people. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. We pay enough for these colleges and universities. They should be about places of diverse ideas and learning, and certainly we don't get anywhere by administrators and professors coddling students and protecting them from anything that they might deem offensive.
Do we know anything about this professor from the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley? Do we have any idea who he is? Because I know that the university tried to reach out to him to see if it would be changed. Do we have any more information about that?
You know, I think that he isn't commenting at this point, but what I do know is that when we're talking about free speech on a college campus, what administrators and professors like to cite all of the time is the need for classroom order, the need for order on a campus. Well, that's not the standard for free speech when we're talking about a public university. That's the standard for perhaps a high school or a middle school where there is an interest in preserving order, but certainly free speech is much broader on a college campus. And so, you know, the fact that a professor can't respect just those basic freedoms and is really making just an issue out of something that is so commonplace and just something that's just a common courtesy. It's really just, it's silly season.
But maybe not even high school, maybe kindergarten would be better served for this. Alexandra Smith, great to see you this morning. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me, Clayton.
Enjoy silly season.
I know.
Coming up here on the show, Carly Fiorina.